Welcome to Seminar 4 in the Nesting Pairs series. In this seminar, we're going to be considering the case for the defence. So we're going to be looking at opening leads and signals and discards. During your bridge life, you'll probably find yourself in defence for one half of your time at the bridge table. There are 4 seats, 2 of them are for defenders. So learning how to defend is really important. We're going to have a look first at opening leads. Remember, every right lead can work out wrong. But if you thought about your lead first and your logic was sound, then you'll be able to sleep easily at night. There are a couple of really good resources to give you additional help on defence. So if your club library hasn't already got these, see if your club might like to make a small investment. But the DVDs by Ron Klinger on opening leads are excellent, and also Eddie Cantar's books on defence. So first, let's have a look at the opening lead when you're defending a no-trump contract. It's normal to lead your long suit against a no-trump contract, preferably from a 5-card or longer suit. And you're going to be leading your 4th highest, or top of a sequence of 3, or top of a broken sequence of 3. And we'll have a look at those leads in more detail. What sort of holding do you have to be leading your 4th highest? Well, here are 3 examples where you would lead the 4th highest card. That means start at the top and count downwards. So in the first example, King 10, 5, 3 is your 4th highest card. Why are you leading your 4th highest? Well, your partner is going to be doing some calculations on it. They'll be using the rule of 11, and it really works. Here's how. When your partner leads a card, you take a note of the number of the card led. You take that from the number 11. What remains is telling you the remaining number of cards higher than that lead card spread between the remaining 3 hands. Let's have a look at a practical example. Imagine your partner leads the 7 of hearts. Okay, the face value of that card is 7. Take it away from 11, you get the answer 4. That means there are 4 cards out in the remaining 3 hands higher than the 7. Well, let's say you're holding Ace 10, 9, 3 in the suit and Dummy's holding King 5, 2. Well, you can see here that the Ace, 10, 9 and the King take care of all 4 cards that are higher than the 7. That means the hidden hand, Declarer's hand, does not hold a card higher than the 7. So if Declarer just plays Dummies 2, you can play the 3 because the 7 is going to win the trick. Another good lead against no trumps is top of an honour sequence of 3. Here are some examples. So where you've got the Ace, King, Queen leading the Ace, King, Queen, Jack lead the King, Queen, Jack, 10 lead the Queen, Jack, 10, 9 lead the Jack, and 10, 9, 8 leading the 10, and that's the lowest sequence to lead from the top. It really helps your partner in no trumps if you make your sequence leads top of 3 because they have a much clearer picture of what to do with their hand. Another aggressive lead against no trumps, and one that you don't see used so often, is the broken honour sequence of 3. Here's what a broken honour sequence looks like. Can you see you've got the Ace and the King, but now you're missing the Queen, but you have got the Jack, so your sequence is broken. So when you lead the Ace, your partner immediately knows, because you're only leading from 3 in a sequence, you've either got Ace, King, Queen or Ace, King, Jack. What does your partner do when you lead top of an honour sequence? Well, it is their job to jettison the missing honour. Now this seems strange at first, and I promise you it will only hurt the first couple of times you do it. But if your partner leads the Ace and you're sitting there holding the Queen, your job is to jettison the Queen on that Ace and show your partner where it is. So if you hold it, show it. Have a look at these cards. On this deal, your partner has led the king. You're holding the jack, so you immediately know your partner must be leading from king, queen, 10. You must jettison your jack on your partner's king to show your partner it's okay for them to continue the suit. If you don't, your partner is perfectly justified in changing suits, and that's not what you want them to do. If your partner doesn't know where that jack is, they're going to be very wary that they're stuck in a Bath coup situation. That means they think declarer has the ace, jack and another, and if they continue and play the queen, declarer's going to get a trick with the jack that they were never entitled to. So if you've got that missing honour in the sequence, show it to your partner on their first lead card. If you don't hold the missing honour, then give your partner different information. Show your partner count. I'm going to look at count a little later on in this seminar, but count means telling your partner how many cards in a suit you hold. Most of you will have learnt leading a doubleton high-low, so that's an easy way to remember how to give count. So if you have an even number of cards in the suit, play the highest one first and the lowest. And if you've got an odd number of cards in a suit, then lead the low one first and then follow through with a higher one. Partner will be watching your cards on their lead. If you don't jettison an honour, they're going to have an idea of how many cards you've got in the suit and know whether they should be continuing to pursue the suit. Here's an example of why giving count to your partner is very important. On this hand, your partner leads the king. Dummy plays low. You don't have the missing honour, the jack, if your partner's sequence is king, queen, 10. Without the honour, give your partner count. So here, play the 2. That tells your partner that you hold an odd number of cards in the suit. Well, that's going to really help your partner here because they've got 5 cards. You've just told them you've got an odd number of cards, so it's highly likely you've got 3, and they can see 3 on the table in dummy. What if you just managed to tell your partner by playing that innocuous little 2 that declarer now has the jack bear after the opening lead? So if they play the queen, they're going to be able to squash that jack and push out the ace and develop that suit further. Another useful lead in no trumps is an internal sequence. If you look at these examples, can you see how they differ from the broken sequence? An internal sequence means you have one higher honour card than your lead card, but not the one immediately before it. So here, you're going to lead the jack from jack 10, 9. That denies the queen, but you do have the king. In the second example, where you lead a 10 from 10, 9, you've also got the queen. Your lead of the 10 is denying the jack. Now it's true your partner won't know whether you have that honour at the top. You may be leading simply from jack 10, 9, and it may not be an internal sequence, but you can play a high card and develop that suit to find out whether it is an internal sequence. When your partner's leading top of a sequence, it's usual to try and return your partner's lead because you've got off to an attacking start. Sometimes, of course, we're dealt rubbish. You're on the lead and there's really nothing you want to lead from. Many people use the system mud to lead rubbish. So that means leading your middle card and then your higher one and then a lower one. So middle, up, down, to show to your partner it's not a suit that you're interested in. If you've got more than 3 cards, then it's a good idea to lead your second one, because by the lead of a high card, your partner usually infers that it's not a suit you're interested in pursuing. Another good lead is to lead your partner's suit. If your partner has taken the time and trouble to mark the bidding sheet during the auction, if only for partnership harmony, it's a really good plan to lead your partner's suit. When I was learning bridge, I was told there are 2 good reasons not to lead your partner's suit, and one is if you're void, and 2 was if immediately following the auction that put you on lead, you've died. and if neither of those apply, come hell or high water, you will lead your partner's suit. The only time not to lead your partner's suit really is if you've got something overwhelmingly better in your hand. So which card are you going to lead to your partner's suit? Well, with 3 cards or more, lead low to show an honour card at the top. Don't routinely put down your highest card in your partner's suit. Only lead your highest if you've got a doubleton, so you're playing high-low. So for example, if you've got King 9, play the King first and then follow through with the 9 so that you get out of the way of your partner's long suit that you're trying to set up. The one time you would lead your honour card, even if you hold 3 cards in your partner's suit, is when from the auction you suspect the stopper in that suit is held by dummy, and then you are going to lead the high card to try and force the stopper out, playing through to your partner. And if you've got 3 cards that are rubbish in your partner's suit, go back to mud, middle up, down. Remember that's what you started with though, and you must play your higher card the second time round to give your partner the count and not suggest that it's a doubleton. So that's a look at leads against no trumps. Let's move on now to look at leads against suit contracts. The rule with suit contracts is when you're defending, consider how confident the opponents were in the auction. The more confident on making game the opponents sound, the more aggressive your lead needs to be. Conversely, if they've struggled into game, you want to lead passively. Well, what does a confident auction sound like? 1 heart, 2 hearts, 4 hearts, pass, pass, pass. All looks very comfortable, they're confident they're going to make it. Well, there you're going to have to do something drastic or risky to try and take the opponents down because they think they can make it. Struggling into game, well, 1 heart, 2 heart, pause, 3 hearts, pause, oh go on then, 4 hearts. They've struggled into game. They're not confident, so don't help them out by making an aggressive lead. Now's the time to be passive. We're going to look at both aggressive leads and passive leads in this seminar. If you use doubleton leads against suit contracts rarely, it becomes an awful lot easier to spot when your partner is playing a singleton. But useful doubletons are the ace-king, or if you're leading your partner's suit, a doubleton is a good plan. Or ace rag, but only if you truly believe that your partner has the king. Otherwise, it's usually better to hold on to that ace and pick up one of declarer's honour cards. Singletons are an aggressive lead. When are they a good idea? If you are weak. When are they a bad idea? If you're strong. Why? Well, the reason's probably quite obvious. If you're leading a singleton, the hope is that your partner's going to win that trick with the ace and send the suit back to you for you to ruff. Well, if the opponents have easily bid their game and you've got 11 or 12 points yourself, what hope is there that your partner's going to miraculously have this ace and be able to send the suit back to you? However, if you're weak, there's quite a good chance that your partner may have just the card you need opposite you because they're the one with the strength. And so if you lead a singleton when you're weak, it's a strong aggressive lead that may well bear fruit. If your opponents have bid the suit in which you hold your singleton, that's often an unwise lead. Instead, pick another suit or else you're only going to help them set up their long suit. Another aggressive lead is leading away from an honour that's not in a sequence. So for example, leading away from a king that's standing alone at the top of rag cards. It is aggressive and risky, but if they are confident, how else are you going to win quick tricks? You are never ever going to be leading away from a bare ace in a suit on opening lead. So if you're not going to lead away from your ace and your partner's not going to lead away from your king, how are you ever going to find those two tricks? And what often happens is you find they've evaporated on declarer's long suit by the time one of you is bold enough to show you've got a high honour card. If you really have no choice but to lead a suit which is headed by a bare ace, then on opening lead, put the ace down. Don't ever lead away from it. The number of times you'll give a trick away to declarer, especially to declarer's singleton king. So if you must lead the ace, but far, far better, pick another suit. Your ace isn't to go down on the table and pick up 2s and 3s. The job of your ace is to pick up declarers, kings and queens. We're going to have a little look now at passive leads. So top of a sequence of 2, a king, queen, queen, jack, a passive lead. It's really giving very little away because all you're doing is setting up a trick for your side. An excellent lead is from the ace king. And I'm going to introduce you to a system called ace is for attitude and king is for count. Now we're going to have a look at attitude and count a little later on in this seminar, but it can really help on lead if you have the ace and king to get information from your partner that you need. And sometimes what you need from your partner is attitude, so to know whether you should continue and play your king and keep going with that suit. Sometimes what you really want from your partner is count. You want to know how many cards in the suit they hold. So if you play aces for attitude and king is for count, you can get the information you need that will really help your defence. Another passive lead is leading trumps. So if you've got 2 or 3 rags or the ace rag in trumps, providing you're sure you're not about to wreck your partner's chance of a trump trick, then leading a trump can be a really good lead. Especially where you suspect from the auction there's going to be some cross-ruffing or ruffing going on. In those struggling auctions where they're hesitating and going to 3 hearts and then 4 hearts and they seem uncertain, but what are they doing? Generally they're adding on for their shape. How's the shape going to impact on whether they make game or not? Well, it's their shortages and the idea that they can ruff some losers in dummy. If you get a trump on the track straight away, that puts paid to their plans and can really interfere with them achieving their contract. So don't rule out a trump lead. But leading singleton trumps really do only cause grief because you're bound to crash your partner's holding. So don't do it unless the auction absolutely demands it. The sort of auction where you want to lead a trump straight away no matter what is where the opponents have both bid 1 suit each and then they've agreed on a 3rd suit. How are they going to make their tricks? Well, they're going to cross ruff, so get a trump on the track straight away. Another passive lead is leading small cards from an unsupported queen. It's a low risk lead because if your partner holds the ace or king, it's not in vain. I'll just touch on a few poor leads, but sometimes all you're dealt is rubbish, so what can you do? And again, in a suit contracts, just the same as we discussed in no trump contracts, leading either mud or your second highest from rubbish. So middle up down to show your partner you're not interested in having that opening lead suit returned to you. So I hope those tips on opening leads are helpful for you. We're now going to move on to signals. What are signals? Well, it's all about what card you're going to play on your partner's lead card to try and give your partner some information. And we're going to look at a system called reverse attitude. How this works is if you play a small card, you're going to be encouraging your partner, and a high card will discourage your partner. So, little I like, high I hate. So the 2 to 5 are classed as small cards. So if you play one of those, you're encouraging your partner to continue with their lead, continue the suit. If you play between the 6 and the 9, they're classified as the high cards, you're saying to your partner, no, I've got nothing here to help you. I have no interest in you continuing this suit. Let's imagine your partner leads the ace. You've got a partner that doesn't lead unsupported aces, so that's going to be from ace-king. If you remember, we're going to be using ace for attitude and king for count. So on the ace, your partner is asking you for attitude. What do you think, partner? Shall I continue and play the king? Well, imagine you hold 9, 8, 3 in the suit. Which card do you play? Well, you're not interested in that lead, are you? You can't see anything to be gained from your side of the table. So you're going to play the 8. Hi, I hate, saying to your partner, well, you can carry on and play the king, but there's nothing over here that's of any assistance in that suit continuing. Often on lead, your partner's just going to have the ace and the king. They don't have the queen, so it's really important, if it's not in dummy, that you give them that attitude to show whether you've got it or not. If you play a high card, instead of carrying on and playing the king, your partner can switch suits and save that king to capture the queen that they now know declarer is holding. Now imagine your partner leads the ace. Again, it's going to be from ace-king, asking for your attitude, and you're holding the 8 and the 2. Which card are you going to play here? Well, here you're going to play the 2, aren't you? You're going to play little I like. You want to encourage your partner to continue that suit. Because if your partner plays the king, that'll get rid of your 8. They'll play another card, and now you can score a ruff. Try to start carding on every new suit that is led. Show attitude on the first card of each suit that your partner leads. Your partner should be watching. Moving on to the topic of discards. So this is the first time you can't follow suit to a trick and you have to throw out a card. The purpose of a discard is to give your partner an indication of which suit you would like led to you. In this series, we're keeping it simple and using reverse attitude, the same as we've just learnt for signals. So it's low I like, high I hate. So if you throw out a low card between the 2 and the 5, you're saying to your partner, well, I'd quite like this card, partner. I've got something in this suit. When you get on lead, could you send this to me? And if you throw out between the 6 and the 9, you're saying to your partner, well, don't send me one of these. I haven't got anything in this suit. Pick another one. A discard that really wakes your partner up is when you discard from the top of 3 high cards. So for example, if you're holding King, Queen, Jack, 9, 3 in a suit, and partner leads a card which the opponents take with the ace, play the king. Say to your partner, look, I've got the queen and the jack as well, so I'm really wanting this suit led. The last topic we're going to look at on defence is suit preference. So trying to show your partner where to go for honey. If you're sending your partner a card to ruff, you don't want to just pick any old card at random. There's a way to tell your partner how to re-enter your hand so you can send them another ruff. Let's have a look at how this works. Have a look at this hand. Declarer's reached 3 spades. You're on lead and you lead the ace of diamonds. Watch your partner's card like a hawk. Your partner's going to play the 4. They're encouraging you. So you continue the suit and play the king, and your partner now plays the jack. You can see your partner wanted you to continue. Which diamond do you now send? Well, you need to tell your partner the way back to your hand so that you can send them another ruff. And here comes a system called Leventhal. How Leventhal works is, if you send a low card between the 2 and the 5, you're telling your partner to send the lower of the other 2 non-trump suits back to you, that's the way back to your hand. If you play between the 6 and the 9, you're telling your partner to send the higher of the other 2 non-trump suits to find the way back to your hand. On this hand, play the 9 of diamonds, the higher of the 2 non-trump suits. You're telling your partner hearts is the way back to your hand. If you have a look at the cards in dummy, partner might not send a heart back. They're going to be nervous of setting up that lovely heart suit in dummy, so they might well opt for a club. So choosing which card you send your partner to ruff gives them the key information they need. The heart comes back via the ace, another diamond is sent, and your partner can over trump, contract down, great defence. Well, that's the end of Seminar 4. Now it's time to practice. All of the deals, the hand records, the commentaries, they're all on the Cambridge Bridge Club website. Just a word of warning to declarers out there, you are all doomed, and if the defendants get it right, your contracts should fail. So please don't get depressed if you're declarer and don't make any contracts in the practice session. On the other hand, if you do make your contract, please don't be cock-a-hoop, because it means the defence has somehow gone awry. So you can have a look at the commentary and see what should have happened. Good luck with your practice, good luck with your new defence. Happy bridging.